Hey, we are live. Sorry. Felix, I couldn't see myself. We are live here with FitFit. Hello and welcome. This is FitFit, and this is where we talk about the latest news and trending topics. You, my friend, if you want to know everything that's happening today in the news, in trending topics, and who are people talking about, yeah, you're in the right place. So stay with me here. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, and please let me know where you're watching from on the comment section, because I'll shout you out at the end of the show as we talk about what's happening today. We're going to talk about bang being banned. We're going to talk about bar owners. We're going to talk about Irungo Kangata. You can follow here on the feed to see everything that we're talking about. Okay, let's get into straight into the speed feed here and start with our first story. Now, since the pandemic hit, the Bar Hotels Liquor Traders Association, I didn't even know there's such an association, they say that over 15,000 bars have been closed, of course, because of the effects of lockdowns and curfew. And now they held a press conference yesterday urging the government to allow them to operate until 9 p.m. because things are bad. Jobs are being lost and businesses are being closed. And to some extent, Kenyans just want to party again and pretend like Corona isn't there. Like you're going to go to the bar and not put yourself in danger. But that's what's happening. They're saying they want the government to review the opening time for bars until 9 p.m. like it was before, because right now they're closing at 7 p.m. Moving on. Hey, this one is interesting. That if you didn't know, now you know. Now, did you know how much MPs or senators earn from holding special positions in parliament? Those positions that are being fought for, majority whip, leader of majority, minority whip, all of those positions. Apparently, they come with packs. And at least now we have a picture of what the packs look like, because Irungo Kangata, Mwanga Senator, told us on Twitter yesterday, he said that he was earning allowances from parliament, from the Senate being the majority whip. His allowances were totaling to about $500,000 plus in a month, and he also got a government vehicle and bodyguards. You can see him here. Yeah, so the government gives him a vehicle and bodyguards on top of his salary. That's not even his salary as a senator. That's just what's on top of it. Yeah, and he said he lost all of those because he went to Tanga, and he said that Tanga has some kind of magic that would make him forego all of those perks that come with being the majority whip. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah, those are just perks. Making me think of running for office. What should I run for, Felix? If I ran for office, would I be fit as a governor, an MCA, an MP, a cabinet secretary? What do I look like? If you look at me, do I look like somebody who can hold a political office? MCA? Really? Chief? No. Fred, what do you think I will be? A senator, governor, MCA, MP? This guy is serious. That's jokers. Yeah, women rep. Anyway, let's continue. Hii ni bangi mmevuta watu wangu. Yeah? But speaking of bangi, a court in Embu, there was also the incineration of bang worth 4 million shillings. And there it is. This is a real picture of the bangi being banned. A lot of it was banned by a court in Embu. And apparently it was incinerated in a hospital. Yeah. Because the government is fighting the war against drugs. And yeah. There's an interesting tweet, by the way, from Senator Damo Lekina. Bought products made of hemp being sold at a local supermarket or a local outlet. And his argument was other countries are making products out of weed and they're selling them to Kenya, but for in Kenya the government isn't, just to mull on. That debate about legalization and all, that's up to you guys. Discuss in the comment section. Yeah, what do you feel about that? However it makes you feel, I don't know, my friends. Just tell me in the comment section. Anyway, let's move on. So there's an MCA in Kisii. There you can see him in blue. This guy assaulted an assistant chief. Yeah, they had beef and he assaulted the chief. But yesterday the court released him on a 30,000 cash bail, and apparently he was released based on the reason that he needs to serve his people, or serve them. serving the chief with some blows. Anyway, moving on. This is quite interesting here. So there's a story that apparently Uhuru and Ruto have not met on official capacity since February. In fact, they have not been in the same room since February. So, in case you're wondering about their bromance, what happened to the bromance that we saw in 2013 in the first term? Yeah, it is so bad. In fact, say that Fred Matiang'i has taken over most duties that were supposed to be done by the deputy president. In fact, we didn't even see him when the president of Tanzania was here, and she was here for 2 days, and the DP was nowhere in those events. So, in case you're wondering if it's true, it's true. They have not been in the same room officially for over 2 months. Meanwhile, I see a lot of you here on Facebook. Comment below. Let's talk about some of those stories. Comment below. What you think about some of those stories I have just told you. It's free. We're going to talk about Kabiwa Jesus in just a minute. But let's talk about ODM. So, Otiende Amolo has denied sending a threatening text message to Raila Odinga. And this picture here is the first one, that cartoon you saw there. It's on today's Daily Nation, Trouble in ODM Paradise. So there has been infighting in ODM, and it's led by two people, Otiende Amolo and Senator James Orengo. So apparently the two of them were supposed to have a meeting with Raila Odinga on Monday, but they snapped the meeting, and according to John Buddy, Otiende sent a threatening text message, probably what would have been seen as insubordination, and it's said to be what led to his expulsion from the powerful Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. And remember what I just told you, that those guys in those committees actually get perks, so it's not just about being kicked out. You also lose all of those perks that come with being in those committees. So trouble has been brewing over in ODM because of James Orengo and Otiende Amolo, and it's stemming from the BBI. Apparently, the two of them do not hold the party position on the BBI, which is that the BBI should be passed as is. Interesting things going on over at ODM. And there's a on Monday, Rigathi Gachagua was on a show, and he said, he gave the analogy of the hare and the hyena, how there's a famous story in Kikuyu. Let me just digress a bit here. Let's talk about this. So there's the story of the hare and the hyena. So the hare and the hyena agreed to beat up their wives, and when they went home, the hare was beating drums as the hyena was beating their wife. And so Rigathi was saying that that's what has happened between Jubilee and ODM, because when the handshake was done, and the two parties agreed that they should crack down on anyone who does not agree with the stand. It's kind of what's happening, because Jubilee has kicked out a lot of its members. It has been whipping them into submission, but ODM hasn't seemed to be doing so. And so now they're going after those in ODM who seem to be rebels. So that's just the backstory of what's happening here. Meanwhile, let's talk about Kabiwa Jesus, because he's trending right now on Twitter. So many names and hashtags, or words and hashtags that are trending about him. So yesterday, he admitted that he fathered a baby with his cousin. This is a statement that he wrote on his Instagram. And remember, a few months ago when, Edgar Obare did a story about him, and, saying him being accused of being a deadbeat dad. And he went on his YouTube together with his wife, and he said that the lady in the story was his cousin, and there is no way the child could be his. And turns out they did what is it called? A paternity test? Yeah, right? A DNA test. And they found out that he is actually the father. So that's driving conversation today. In fact, he's probably the most talked about person right now. Because of those two things, he said at first he denied that he fathered a child with his cousin, but then yesterday he wrote that statement and said he is actually the father of that child. I want to hear your comments about this on the comment section. Tafadhali, just comment below. I know you guys are watching on Facebook, Anyway. Let's talk about Uber. So, if you have found yourself in a situation where you cancel a ride, uh, so Uber has cancelled or has removed cancellation fees for customers in Nairobi and Mombasa. So, in case you get a ride and you cancel it, they won't be charging you cancellation fees. And I have a couple of tech updates here. Today's you need to know what's happening in the world of tech, all right? Let's talk about Twitter. Because if you go on Twitter and you usually see your photos are cropped, Twitter says no bad to all, no crop too short. Well, yeah, that's what they posted. It just means that your photos won't be cropped anymore on Twitter if you're a regular Twitter user, so you can post portrait mode photos. Yeah, you can, uh, take those pictures. You know those memes that spread of an image that you can only see half of it, and then when you open, there's nothing. You know, yeah. So now you can actually post the whole thing. It's just I don't know. You just needed to know that, didn't you? Anyway, still on Twitter. Twitter is acquiring the ad-free journalism site called Scroll, and they're trying out a system where they're trying to invest in quality journalism, where you can subscribe and you don't have to see ads online. So I know a lot of you get your news online, which is the reason why we started this show, because a lot of you get online to read your news. Like if you go to any website, any news website, you'll find ads. But Scroll is a service that removes all of those ads, so you can subscribe and get quality journalism with no ads. And so Twitter has acquired that company. And meanwhile, still on tech, yeah, for Android users, because this is the last month that you actually use Google Photos for free. Yeah, guys, this is the last month that you will be able to use Google Photos for free. It's no longer going to be a free service. So after May, in June, you're going to have to pay for um, additional space. And these are the charges that you have to pay. For 100 GB to store your photos on Google Photos, you will pay 200 shillings a month or 2,000 a year. Or if you want as much as 30 terabytes for your photos, I know there's some people who take a lot of photos, by the way, so you might need even 30 terabytes of the same. Yeah, that's going to cost you 15,000 shillings a month. Yeah, so those are just tech updates and other things that are happening today. Yeah, that's just about it about from the speed feed. Let's talk in the comment section. Yesterday, shall we talk about the Champions League final? It's an all English. Chelsea are going to face Man City in the final. Who do you guys think is going to win in that final? Shall we take a side? Shall we take a bet? Shall we make a bet here? Who wants to make a bet? Who wants to make a bet here? Fred, you want to make a bet? Fred, I've just asked you. You can make a bet. You don't have to be a football fan. Between the Champions League final for this year is going to be Man City and Chelsea. Man City. Fred says Man City. Felix.
London is red, so I go for Man City.
Oh my God, you're a Man United fan, aren't you? So tiring. Man United fans are just so tiring. As in, it's just so tiring. Yeah. Chelsea's an Fred says Chelsea's an organization. Are you a Chelsea fan? No. There's someone else in the studio. I'm not sure if I should ask them. You want to take a bet? I don't watch football. Not interested. Between Man City and Chelsea, who do you think is gonna win? I'm waiting for your comments, by the way, as I have banter with my team here in studio, because we're about to end the show. But then, yeah, we're trying to make a bet. Who is confident enough to make a bet with me right now? Felix.
Man City.
Man City?
Yeah.
You guys are betting on Man City?
Yeah.
How much do you guys want to bet?
You direct the show.
Okay, I direct, right? Let's start. Let's be fair. Let's start with 500 shillings. Yeah? Let's not go with so much.
That's fair.
Okay. Fair?
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, 500 is fair enough for both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so 500 it is. I will go with Chelsea then, since you guys have gone with Man City. Anyway, let me read your comments. Geoffrey says, "Ati Nairobi water did what? Aki hika hami." Yeah, yesterday, status hakukuwa na maji. So today, there's a very high likelihood that the president alishower a bucket because Nairobi water walikata maji state house. Someone else is here watching from Burundi. Sasa huyu wa Jesus ataambia aje watoto wao ati your mom is my relative, yani ni my cousin. Yeah, it's a big, it's, I don't know, what do you think about this? Yeah. Felix, do you care enough about the Kabi wa Jesus and his wife story and the, the do you even know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, to start with, it was not a great idea
Mm-hmm.
for Kabi and the cousin
Mm-hmm.
to do whatever they did.
Oh, Fred says, since you guys can hear him, he says it was not a good idea for Kabi and the cousin to do what they did. As if you needed an explanation.
So, okay, you should just take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, it should just
He should
be-
take responsibility. That's what Felix is saying.
It should be a lesson to us all.
A lesson to us.
Cousin, no goes on.
Felix says cousin is a no-go zone. Yeah, it's true. It should be. It's as if you needed a reason. No. Oh my God. Fred.
So disappointing.
So disappointing. Are you a fan of Kabi or Jesus?
No.
You're not
I'm
a fan?
not a hater and I'm not a hater too.
You're not a hater, you're not a fan.
Yes.
You're in the middle.
Yes.
Okay.
It's disappointing because the child will be at this state of wow, like she'll feel like she's a miss,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
it will
It-
disconnect the two from their family life. Like Kabi can't really face their family members.
It's gonna be an
Guilt.
awkward family meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. Fred says it's gonna be really, really awkward in the family. Now, in case you're joining us right now, we just talked about everything that you need to know today. This is a speed feed right here. Everything that we're talking about, and we also share a speed feed minute after this. Just a 1 minute version of this show. Are we running out of time, Felix?
Yeah.
We should end the show
Yeah.
because we gotta go do other things. Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out before we end the show. All of you who are watching right now live on Facebook, you should know that there's a team of journalists who work around the clock to make this show possible. Brian Casey, Mike Musioka, Dennis D2, Derek Kubasu, John Batty. Who else is one of the other writers on the team? Yeah, is there somebody I'm forgetting? Yeah, there's Stephanie Wangari, Lisa Sigay. Who else? Meshach from sports. Yeah, there's a whole team of people who work, to bring all of these stories for you, and I want to appreciate them right now. And of course, everyone who's here, Fred, Felix, Ivy, and Malvin, who's not here, and Kelvin, and Ruben, and every other person who makes this show possible. Santeni sana. We'll see you again tomorrow. Still here, doing the Friday recap on Speed Feed, talking about everything that's happening in that day and what you need to know in the news. Thank you so much. My name is Kimani Bogwa. Goodbye.